Now, I never really was into anime much until I was in about my early 20s. The Cartoon Network started showing the Adult Swim, and one of the first anime they ever put on the air was YuYu Hakusho. And I have to admit, watching that made me want to consume more of this content. Man, I didn't know they could be so freaking entertaining. Now, being a fan of the show, when I heard Netflix was going to do a live adaptation, I have to admit, I was a little bit worried, but after One Piece, it kind of eased me into thinking, okay, well, maybe this can actually be a good show. After watching the 5 episodes for this series, I have to admit there are some flaws, but all in all, I think Netflix did an adequate job of adapting this crazy story about a spirit detective fighting to save the world. Because of how short the series is, character development is a bit of an issue, but I feel that they were able to get each character's personality right. Yusuke, Keiko, Kuwabara are fleshed out pretty well. Yusuke is every bit the rebel you get from the anime. He's tough and gruff on the outside, but you can see his softer side by seeing his interactions with the characters around him. He'll stand up for those people being bullied, he fights like a demon, and he'll risk his life to save complete strangers even before he gains the powers of a spirit detective. Now, eventually he gains the ability to fight these monsters, but he has a lot of trouble controlling it. Now, Keiko, his childhood friend, she's not fooled by his tough demeanor at all. She sees Yusuke for what he really is. And not only that, she's a lot tougher than she looks, too. Kuwabara is a stubborn idiot who never backs down from a fight, believes he's Yusuke's rival even though Yusuke just beats the crap out of him every time they meet. Kuwabara's motivation is his friends, and it helps push him along to try to become stronger, and he's even more willing to put in the hard work than Yusuke to try to gain that strength. For me personally, Kuwabara was always my favorite, and I think they did him justice in this show. Now, with the limited number of episodes, I feel they were unable to fully develop Yusuke's other companions, Botan, Kurama, Hiei, and Genkai. Botan is a Grim Reaper who's surprisingly cute and cheerful. She's mostly a cheerleader in the series for Yusuke, unlike the anime where she's more like a partner who helps him out with his cases. Now, Kurama, his calm and gentle nature, the personality, again, they nail it, that's exactly who he is, but the amount of time building the relationships with others just feels rushed, and it doesn't feel like they get that good cohesiveness. In his big battle, he does a transformation, and it's kind of less of a build-up because without that interaction and knowing his backstory, it doesn't really come through as well. Hiei, I believe, is the most robbed of his interactions with all the others. Hiei is still that, I'm a lone wolf and I do this all on my own personality, but his character suffers from a lack of development the most. He fights Yusuke just once, and he starts helping him in the final battle. It just didn't seem that believable with such little interaction that they had or any rapport built up between them. Now, if you see the anime, you kind of fill in those gaps because you know what he's supposed to be and what they represent, but if I hadn't seen that, like I said, it just doesn't work. Genkai is the master who trains Yusuke and Kuwabara to be stronger. Now, she will say what is on her mind without sugarcoating it. She'll put you in your place if you get too uppity. She'll even smack you down. Now, again, they nail her personality, but because the series is so short, you just don't feel that connection between her and Yusuke. Altogether, story-wise, they combined 3 arcs into this 5-episode series. They're able to blend the missing demon artifacts with some opponents from the Dark Tournament, along with demon parasites taking over humans. Now, hearing that, you'd think they're mashing up too many elements and it would be all disjointed, but they were actually pretty clever on how they brought everything together. Yusuke investigates the missing demon artifacts, which leads to events that make him pursue the Toguro brothers on an island that turns into something akin of the final round of the Dark Tournament. Oh, and if you've seen the anime, you know they love their battle tournaments in this show. Yusuke and crew must defeat the big bads or the human world will be in trouble. This story works and it builds up the drama for a final conflict. There are ups, there are downs, but the story combination leaves a lot of interesting elements from each anime arc trimmed out though. Now, the action in this show is one of the best parts. The practical punching and kicks are fast-paced and entertaining. There are dodges and evasions that are creative. They even have some fun with the over-the-top spectacle moments by summoning energy blasts and swords and other well-timed, interesting elements. You can definitely see how damaged each character is, as they do not shy away from showing blood in this show. The special effects are good enough to keep you involved in the show. The only distracting effect for me, at least, was the elder Toguro brother. His CG made him look odd when he wasn't fighting, and it's just weird because he's made smaller, and you could tell it was just CG'd. It just looks a little weird. Overall, I think if you're new to the series, Yu Yu Hakusho is fun and entertaining watch for you. Yusuke, Keiko, and Kuwabara's strong development will be enough to get you through the show. If you're a fan of the anime, your opinion may be a little more divided then. Some fans may feel they're being deprived of the rich, fleshed out stories that were combined into this short 5-episode season. For me, I like the way they blended the story arcs together, but I believe it will severely limit the amount of seasons that can be produced in the future. Well, that's my take. Let me know what you guys think. For now, take care.